Hi friends, I'm Shayla here, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a custom order that I did recently. I wanted to walk you through a little bit of my custom order process and how I made this gorgeous blanket. The pattern and the details and all of that, all the specific information will be on my blog if you want to get that. But for this video, I wanted to just kind of talk through the design process and how I work with the customer to come up with a beautiful, perfect for them handmade blanket. So let's get right into it. So this blanket is the Luxe Bobbles throw, and it is a pattern from Mama in a Stitch. The customer asked for the specific blanket. They came to me with the link to this pattern saying that they really loved it, but they wanted a couple of changes. So we talked through that. Now, when somebody comes to me with a custom order, the very first thing we talk about is just kind of their vision. What are they looking for? What do they want? And we kind of just set expectations of like timeline and all of that, timeline, price, size, all that stuff. So make sure that like I'm doing the best that I can to make the blanket perfect for them or the toy or whatever it is, and that they know how long it's going to take and what to expect from me. So yes, this customer came with a couple of pictures, and that is always great because it gives me a really good starting point to figure out what they're actually imagining and what they're thinking they're going to get. So she came to me with a couple of pictures. I'll try to put things on the screen here so that you can see. And we talked about the different color options. She showed me a pattern that she liked of mine and the colors that she liked from that. She showed me this, the actual pattern itself and what changes she wanted to make. She showed me a picture of a different pillow, a throw pillow in her place that she wanted it to kind of match with. So starting with that, we had some really good info and we had some really good ideas. And then we kind of just played around with some design aspects. She wanted, the pattern that she sent me was a single color, very textured blanket pattern, and she wanted a lot more color. So we decided to go with colorful rows of the texture rows so that every row had like some pop of color, or every couple of rows. So then she could incorporate as many of the colors as she wanted into the blanket while still keeping the look and feel of the like very classic simple beige like colors that she wanted as well. She wanted it to be something that was very versatile for the living room, and like she can throw it wherever she wants, and it's like the colors will go wherever, even though she's picked very colorful colors. So yeah, we decided to go with a couple of colors. I have 5 colors, I think it was. We went with 5 colors and then the base main color. Once we talked through some colors, I would send her some options, and I would send her the screenshots from the listings that I would get them at. So for this yarn, we were looking at Lion Brand yarns because they had a lot of really nice colors that matched her vibe in the Woolies and Vanna White lines. So I sent her screenshots of those colors, and it really helps for both her and for me to see those colors together. And just taking a screenshot of like the full ball of yarn and putting them next to each other is a really good way to just visualize them all together. So I would send her something like this, and we would go through and change the colors based on that. We ended up choosing these colors here. These are the yarns that we ended up choosing, and we ended up going with Vanna's Choice yarn in Sage and Sea Glass, Linen, Honey, and then Woolly's yarn in Rose Heather and Blush Heather. So yeah, we ended up using these 6 colors total, and I think they look gorgeous together. So once we had the colors chosen, we decided on how big the blanket was going to be and any other little changes she wanted to make. So the original pattern is by Mama in a Stitch, and you can see it right over here. It is a gorgeous textured squishy blanket, and it is so lovely. But the main changes that my customer wanted to make with this was, one, the color, and she wanted it to be big. She wanted it to be a big heavy throw, and she wanted to add a bit of a border or something, a bit like a fringe border that would match the pillow that she also sent a picture of. So that is where we started. The pattern includes really nice instructions for how to make this blanket in 2 different sizes, but it also includes a little bit about how to adjust the blanket based on your size. So if you want to make it wider, she says how many repeats and like how many repeats you need to change to adjust that. So we made this blanket bigger. That way, all of the actual like pattern information, I will have it linked to the original pattern, and I'll have a blog post with all of my changes and details written out as well, so that it's easy to follow. I loved working with this pattern. It was super easy to follow, and it is super easy to follow. It's perfectly friendly for beginners, especially if you only know a couple of stitches, because you can do a lot with these 2 stitches. This pattern uses single and double crochet, and you get so much juicy texture out of this blanket. The baubles are soft and squishy and super easy to do. You have rows that are full bauble rows, and then you have some bauble rows that are like every spaced out, so they go in and out every couple of inches. They have rows that are like, they seem random, so when all of the rows of baubles are mixed together, it looks random and it looks natural and organic and wonderful. It doesn't look too uniform or too structured. It doesn't look like a very grid-like pattern or anything. It was just gorgeous. This blanket is also really nice because it's not a very holey pattern, which is perfect for something in the living room where you want to snuggle up and you don't want to worry about like other people using or your fingers and toes getting into it. I think when there's a blanket that's out in a shared space, you kind of want to have one so this blanket doesn't have a lot of holes. It's just single and double crochets, which makes it really nice. So yeah, once we started working on this blanket, we got to about a certain point where the blanket was getting big and you could start to see the design and the colors and everything, and I realized that the fringe that my customer was asking for might be a little bit too much for this blanket. It seemed like it would become too busy and too much texture, I thought. So of course, if I had a concern, I reached out to the customer and I asked her if that is something she still wants. I told her that I'm concerned about how it would wash, because fringe in general I think has a tendency to matte, and I haven't found a good way to prevent that so that I could pass that along to her. So instead I suggested that we make tassels in the corner. Tassels are a bit easier to keep neat, and I think if you tie them up before you wash the blanket, then they don't fluff out as much and they don't get crazy, which keeps them a lot neater. And yes, I sent her a picture and I sent her an option of a tassel that I made just to like verify that this is something she was okay with. And once she was, I went ahead and I finished the blanket up with a simple border instead of our planned yellowy gold colorful border that we wanted. Yeah, I went ahead and I finished the border with just a simple round of the same neutral ground color, the linen color that we used, all around the blanket just to neaten up the edges. And then I made a couple of these giant colorful pom-poms, or tassels, sorry, with my tassel maker. And yeah, I attached those to the corners and we finished it off. For the color scheme on this blanket, my customer wanted to use all of these colors, but she also wanted it to look kind of random. So what we did is I took a copy of the whole pattern and I put it onto just a Word doc, and I randomly selected different lines of the pattern, mostly just the bobble rows. So this pattern is worked in a combination of just simple double crochet rows and then bobble rows. So the bobble rows vary between being a full row of bobbles or a half row with them spaced out a bit more or alternating or something. So there's a little bit of variety in that. And to add in the color the way we wanted, I wrote the pattern down onto a separate document and I highlighted all of the bobble rows. And I highlighted them again in the colors of the yarn that we have. That way I could see exactly how those colors will line up, and how it will look in the finished blanket. This is what my document looked like, and I would just go through and check them off as we went. And this whole pattern was repeated 3 times so that we would get the blanket of the size that we wanted it to be. But yeah, having just a Google Doc, I just highlighted each bobble row with the color of the yarn that I wanted to use, and then all the in-between rows that were just going to be the beige background color, I left them blank. So then that also helped me keep track of what row I was on. I also had check marks in the text so I could just check off each row as I finished it, but it would also be visually easy for me to see like, okay, I left off on this color row, this is what's next, in case I forgot to check or uncheck, because I do forget to use the check mark sometimes. But yeah, this was like a very easy way to just see where the colors lined up, to see that they were evenly spaced out. It was easy for me to change the colors in the document before I actually worked on it, so that I could have everything laid out and ready, and I wouldn't have to change too much or like adjust too much as I was actually working. I didn't have to frog things just because of color. This method was also a really good way for me to make sure I didn't have two similar colors right next to each other, or I didn't have repeats too close together, and that each color got enough space in the blanket. So yeah, if you're looking to add color to a blanket, this is a really good like trick to just keep all of your colors organized. This blanket was a really special project for me to make. It was one of my very first projects coming back into working after maternity leave, so I had to ask the customer for a little bit of more time than I would usually need to make a blanket, because my schedule is different now and my time to work has changed. So it was really special that they were able to accommodate that, and that they were willing to wait the extra time for this blanket. That made it really easy for me to just enjoy making this blanket and ease into spending my evenings crocheting again and getting back into the swing of things. Yeah, if you like this, that's all for this video today. If you like this, please check out the blog post with all the details and to see more pictures of the blanket. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and I am hoping to post a lot more here and to grow the channel a bit better. So I will see you soon in the next one.